Hey, what was
Hey everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today's video I'm gonna react on traditional cowboy beans. So yeah, let's react to this video and see what he got.
Hey, what was more traditional going down the old trail during the cattle drive days than what? A big old pot of beans. But these ain't your ordinary beans, folks. We done jazzed these up, talked
What's
to them.
that?
They're gonna be the best. But these ain't your
I've
ordinary
never
beans,
seen
folks.
a knife like this. Well, I have, but it's used for cutting leather, not vegetables or food.
The best beans that you ever eat. So come on, we will be glad to have you.
Okay, we'll be glad to be there. That looks so tasty.
Hey, thank y'all for stopping by camp, and camp might be in a different spot, and whew, done got one of them drive-bys that
The location is so cool.
We're in Lebanon, Missouri at an annual event, Wagons for Warriors, and folks, this is the largest...
What? Wagons for... You guys have all these kind of gatherings over there, like with wagons, horses, and everything? Come on, bruh.
Chuck wagon gathering that I know of in the world, and there'll be around 30 here today, and we're going to raise money for a great cause. We are. But what are we talking about, and what could be more traditional than when you got a bunch of old wagons gathered around? Old wagon food. I'm thinking about something that really goes with it. You know, there was always coffee and there was biscuits, but a thing that was there every meal, I guarantee you, was beans. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. And we're going to go through this little process and show you what I think beans need to be and how they need to be spiced up, talk about the different kinds of beans and the history they played in the part of the trail going down through there to feed them cowboys. What did they eat going down the trail? Oh, they pulled up to Mickey D's and said, hey, I'm at the drive-up.
Look at that. Mickey D's.
Folks, none of that ever existed back then, and I think the food was probably better. Now, old Cookie, he had a job to feed cowboys, and back there during the trail drive days, there was not 3 meals a day. There was a very early morning meal and a late night meal. Some of them guys would be trading off in shifts of watching cattle, and some of them eat at this time, some of them going to eat at midnight. So old Cookie, he had a lot of stuff to keep going. And the thing that he always had on the fire, coffee and beans. Now, beans was easy for him to take, because remember, there's no refrigeration. We ain't talking about we're going to have all this stuck in
they won't go bad.
Somewhere. He had all dry goods, dried coffee, sugar, flour, beans. You got to have some of them beans. Now, most of the time back during Cookie's days, they were cooking a lot of pinto beans, but also they were cooking a lot of Anasazi beans. And even more than that, they were cooking some kidney beans. Now, there's little green beans, there's lima beans, there's white navy beans, there's all kind of beans in the world. But a pinto was the go-to bean.
Okay.
Now,
so, I don't know the English names of these beans. Like, I know what's a kidney bean, but I know in my regional language what every different bean is called, but not in English. So yeah, I'm assuming I know these beans.
Dip out of there with an old coffee can or a pot, what he thought they needed. Now, when I'm feeding beans, I use a pound of dried beans to feed 10 people. That'll usually get you by. But folks has always asked me, what kind of beans do you like to use? Well, if I'm buying pinto beans, I really prefer casserole brand. They've always been good and clean for me, and you can even buy them at Sam's pre-cleaned beans, so you ain't got to do what? Go through here and pick the rocks out, and like this little bean right there, see him, Shin?
What's wrong with him?
He's a little shriveled up bean.
Oh.
He didn't get to make the trip. And you be picking out them rocks if there's any in there. Now,
Yeah.
Also, a very important thing that you got to remember when you're cooking beans is you count them beans. You go all the way till you get to 39, and every 41, you throw it out. That way you ain't gonna have no gas in there. But get your beans today.
That was funny.
Kidney beans and pinto beans together. I got a bean pot over there, and we're going to let the water warm, and then we're going to pour the beans in. Now, we done got them dried, picked, and clean. I left that one out there so y'all could see what we was doing and going on. But go through there, get them rocks. Grandma said leave the rocks in there. They'll float to the bottom, and if you get them, it's good for your gizzard. So now, traditionally,
it is.
when I make I'm just
It ain't
using
good.
most of the time using jalapeno, onion, garlic, cilantro. But back then, old Cookie had a very wide selection of old dried peppers that he took with him on the wagon. I like to use an ancho or a cascabel or a guajillo chili. They're going to add so much flavor to this. Now remember, our water done warmed. So we're going to go ahead and dump these beans in there. And I hear some of you out there already saying,
They're kidney
he
beans?
probably going to soak them beans. Folks, I think I'm probably about 2,600 foot elevation. I'm not going to soak that beans because that old stove standing behind Shan there, known as Bertha, she will reach temperatures unknown to NASA.
Yeah, when we usually make raw beans, we usually soak them overnight and cook them in pressure cookers, so it's easier to cook them. It's faster and more efficient.
You will boil beans in about 2 hours and have them done like you cooked them all day. But I have had to soak my beans a lot, going in different places where there was what? High altitude. Beans cooking at sea level versus 7,000 foot versus 10,000 foot are going to cook totally different. Now, if you're in them places like that, I like to soak my beans, like put them in an ice chest, get the water good and cold, pour the beans in there, let them soak overnight, but make sure that water stays cold because you don't want them beans to sour. And then you can rinse them, drain them off, go back to starting them at that. But I have also cooked them really slow from like 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night with just a little bitty fire and get them done. But folks, a lot of people soak them beans. I don't see a need in it till you get up there at a very high altitude. So we done got our kidney beans in there, our pinto beans. Now traditionally, old Cookie probably wouldn't have had no ham hock. I do love a ham hock, but he would have probably used salt pork or some old jowls or some old fatty bacon that maybe he had left over there, some side meat. So we're gonna chunk him in there. And guess what we got here? We have got us some guajillo chilies. And we're gonna break out the, what you call it, Shen? What do you call this? Remember?
Guajillo chilies?
Yeah,
I've
but there's
never
another
heard of
name
them.
for it that I can't remember.
I know what they
I'm gonna
are.
call it
I
the
know.
rasher. So them chilies have been roasted
What's a
some, and I just
jalapeno?
want you to just
I've
take
tasted
them and
them,
just grind them up a little
but not
more.
this.
Because when you break these down like that and go ahead and put them
Are
in
they
there with the
spicy?
beans, we're gonna get some of that good old rich traditional flavor, but we're gonna get some of that good smoky flavor that it brings out too.
Yeah.
And they ain't
Or
got to be
probably
finely
most for
ground. I'm
this,
just
like
wanting where they're in
mostly for the smokiness, because they look
small
smoke.
pieces, because that hot water gonna work a number on them too. So get them in there, a garlic clove, and it is a big one of them elephant ear garlics. And old Cookie had one of these hanging, I'm pretty sure right there, an old hash knife. This is the best chopping device I've ever seen in my life, but I like to mash them garlic, give them a little bitty mash in there. Now I just like to chop this up sort of best you can. We're just gonna chunk it right in there. Good to go. Now let's talk about onions. There's white onions, there's yellow onion, there's purple onion. Some people call them a red onion. They've always been purple to me. I love
Fact, they are purple more than red.
a white
Yeah.
onion in beans. Now, I've used a Vidalia onion some in beans, but I prefer a good white onion that you're going to put in there. And a lot of people, when they get them onions and they're going to use them, they're going to chop them up in some little bitty pieces. So just don't make them so small that you can't find them in a pot of beans.
The
And I
knife
think
is
a white
very
onion
unique, I
holds
would
up
say.
really well and really gives some natural flavor. So 2 onions is what we're using today with 4 pounds of beans. And I like to use 2 jalapenos. Now, Shan know if it's me, I ain't gonna get the seeds, the stems, nothing out of them. And that's the way it's gonna be today, because this is for me and my friends. And we like our food to bite back. Now, if you don't want yours that hot,
Why would you remove seeds? Jalapeno aren't even that spicy. They're like very mild spice.
skimming them seeds out of there, you'll be good to go. You won't even know it's got a pepper in it. We got the onions in there, we got the jalapeno, we got the dried chilies in there. And what else do we have in there, Shan? Do you remember what else we might have snuck in there? some beans, and some garlic. Yeah, and folks, I love to put some cilantro in mine, but not fresh. Now, a lot of people tell me, why don't you use fresh cilantro? To me, it tastes like soap. To a lot of people, it tastes like soap. Shan, she be loving it, but not so much me. I love to use dried. So I'm gonna get me probably I'd say nearly a fourth of a cup for 2 pounds of beans, which is, the wind is blowing. So we're gonna put about that much in there.
I have no idea what's the difference between cilantro and coriander, but we use coriander a lot. Okay, I eat coriander a lot, the fresh one, and it gives the food very like fresh aroma.
And I want y'all to meet me at the fire. Ooh, look at what I got here. I have got the Cadillac of all Berthas. Me and Rich and the good folks at Hasty Baked Grills there in Tulsa have went off the old Bertha pattern and made this one. Some of you might have seen it in our fried onion video that come out, the Oklahoma fried onion burger. Whoo, them things is good. Cookie didn't have one of these. So on some ranches, early 1900s, late 1890s, you might have seen another little wagon hooked to the back end of that one, which was called a pup wagon, and there might have been a little old 2-hole stove in there, and he just dump it out and cook with it. Now, a lot of them didn't have it, but some did. I like this because, folks, I ain't bending over on the ground, letting everything blow in my gravy and eggs. We designed this just like the original old Bertha. I'm gonna take an eye out of it because Bertha has really, really hot, and then when you take an eye out, it's got, I'm gonna get some kind of that hot. So we're just gonna put this over, and we're just gonna let it begin to simmer, and then we're gonna let it begin to boil. We're gonna give it one little stir right now, and some of you said, wait, he ain't seasoned that. Well, folks, I don't like to season my beans till they start cooking pretty good, because if you just put it all in there at one time and keep cooking it, you done boiled most of the flavor out of it. So we're gonna stir them up,
Okay.
come to a good rolling boil, and I'll meet you back over here.
I thought personally, because I cook, okay, to my experience, if you put aromatic things, aromatic herbs, which gives aromatic or seasoning, it usually help them absorb into the food, whatever you're boiling, if you put them in the starting. Yeah?
Put the fire, and I'll show you what else is going in them. Well, old Bertha,
I mean, he seems to have more experience than me, so yeah.
Has done her job. We've been on about probably 10 or 12 minutes, and we have got us a good low simmering
That's
bowl, as you
smoking,
can
bro.
see in there. And let me pull
I've
it
never
up. You can
seen
still
smoke come
distinguish
out
between
like
a kidney
that.
bean and a pinto bean. And guess what, folks? It is time to season at this point right now. We ain't gonna season at the first, remember, because you're gonna boil some of that away. Now, traditionally, I wouldn't be
So he basically is seasoning, but he's letting the water first boil, then put in the seasoning. Okay, I got
chili
it.
powder and all this stuff.
No
But
big
I'm sort of
difference.
jazzing these up maybe the way old Cookie had so many years ago, because he wouldn't have a lot of what I had. He wouldn't have original Kent Rollins seasoning nor the mesquite. So we're going to add probably about, I would say, 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, about 1 tablespoon of cumin, if we can get it in there for the wind blowing. And then we're going to use some of our mesquite seasoning, which has got some ancho chili in it. Now, folks be telling me, oh, is that really spicy? No, it's just the right blend to give you a little bit of a touch of heat, but also a lot of that smoky flavor. Probably about a tablespoon, and then about 1 tablespoon of our original. Now, we will season these to our seating at the end to make sure that it's just right. And you notice I got me a pot here that has got some water in it that stays hot. So when you add beans to water as they boil,
add water to beans.
Remember, when you're adding water to beans as they boil, and we want them to come to a boil, and just watch them, just let them simmer there. But you need to put hot water back in there when you're adding it, not cold water. Ain't no sense in shocking them little fellers.
Yeah, because when you put cold water and already cooking thin, it stops the cooking and it shocks the food, whatever it is, let it be beans, meat, or whatever. So usually when you're putting water in already cooking food, it has to be hot.
Hot and warm and toasty in that bathtub. Don't be pouring some cold water on them. Keep you some hot water going. So we got her stirred. We're gonna let them cook till they get, that was hot. I just want y'all to know when you pick that up, that was hot. We're going to let them get really good and tender, and I'll show you a trick there at the last. When you pull that bean up out of there and the skin cracks, we're getting pretty close.
That is hot, bro. The fire is huge. It's so cool, bro. Is this all American culture, all Indian? What you call that? The old, from the Indian era, the history. Is that what it is? Like I'm feeling like I'm watching a movie, like a movie set or something. USO? What's that? Yeah, Indian River or something. The place looks so cool. It's like a gathering where everyone's cooking, having fun, meeting people. I wanna go there. It's traditional dance.
The new birthing.
Let me know if this traditional dance is like Indian dance, Indian traditional dance, the old Indian one, or the American traditional dance.
Here has cooked them about 2.5 to 3 hours, and they are done. Now, you can cook a bean to death, but why would you? When you can pull a bean up out of there, and he still looks like he's holding his shape, but he is good and soft, as you can see, that bean is done. Don't cook it. We're making refried beans out of these. These is beans like in a stew pot. Now, I know times are going to vary from where you live and what altitude you are and how you cook them. Now, remember, we talked about soaking beans before, and if you need to at high altitude, you go ahead. But put them over a fire, keep you some hot water, always add to them. But you can see how these beans have sort of thickened up. That's what a lot of people call soup beans, what I call good beans right there for sure. Now, set them over, just let them sit. Hey, you're good to go after that 3 hours. Just keep them warm. The longer them beans sit there and you stir them every once in a while and eat out of them, the better they're going to be. They're going to be better the next day, and there ain't going to be none left over by the time you get to the next day. Oh,
yeah, that's true.
It's a self-cleaning oven. It'll take care of itself.
My mouth is watery, bro, now.
That's a wrap. I'm through. Them are fit to eat. We're done.
He's a funny guy.
We're going to do the bean move. Oh, yeah, them was so good, them beans was. I mean, that's what's happening.
That's true.
Now, remember, when you're cooking beans,
to some extent,
add whatever you want to in there for a meat source, whether it be chorizo, ham hock, salt pork. But if you're using a salt pork, don't salt them beans or don't use so much seasoning because you're going to get a lot of that salt off the salt pork.
you got to
Remember,
counter it.
everything that we used in this video will be down there in the little description, and the recipe will down there as well. As when you click on that link, it'll take you to it. Traditional cowboy beans with a little southwestern, south of the border flair. Use them old dried chilies. You won't regret it. Thank you, Steve Hull and the fine folks at Lebanon for this great event that we do. And as always, I salute all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag flying over camp for so many years. God bless you one and all. And for y'all, hey, guess what? I'm going to see y'all down the I Make the Best Beans in the World trail. God bless you.
Are you taking us down the Brisket Taco Road now?
Well, we are going to go down the Brisket Taco Trail. Let's have a happy dance. Come on now, everybody. Keep going, keep going.
He's funny guy. He's very energetic, very open soul, kind of.
Keep going, happy dance.
Beans, yep, wonderful fruit. The more you eat, the more you... There you go. Shan remembers whistleberries. Felt that. There you go.
Okay. The guy is funny. I like him. Okay. So talking about beans, they look delicious. I do want to try them. I will try to cook them. The only ingredient which I won't find probably is those chorizo chilies, whatever he called them, those smoked chilies. That's the only ingredient I won't found. I'm assuming, yeah. I will cook. I do cook beans. Okay, I'm a very good chef. Okay, not a chef but home cook. Okay, so there's this trick I use when I cook my beans. Okay, I usually crush them, whatever you call that, smush them or mash them, and what that gives is that make the water gravy. Okay, so it's like beans but thickened beans. So yeah, I will like to try these beans. I will cook them, and probably I will make a video. Who knows? Okay. So that's for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you can suggest me any video you want me to react on and comment down below. Okay. See you next video, guys.